In this video, I'll be sharing with you a requested tutorial from my group on how to cut this backless underbust halter neck dress. So if you haven't yet subscribed, please hit on the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. So let's dive right into today's video. So to start, I've gone ahead to mark out all my basic measurement, which includes my shoulder to bust, shoulder to waistline, and 7 inches to get my hip point. For a much taller person, you want to go ahead and use 8 inches. After your hip point, you're going to go ahead mark your gown length. Next, you're going to mark your shoulder divided by 2, and you're going to come down by 1 inch at this point. After marking that 1 inch, you want to go ahead and place your ruler and draw your shoulder slope. The next step you'll be taking from here is to mark your chest line, which is also your armhole. To get that is your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches, and I made a mark there, and I'll go ahead to draw out a straight line. After I'm done drawing, I'm going to mark what I have on the shoulder divided by 2. I'll place my ruler and draw out a straight line. The next thing you want to do is to go ahead to divide your chest line into 2. And to divide that, place your tape back and you're going to fold it up. Mark and come in by ½ inch. From this point, you go ahead to mark your bust circumference divided by 4, and after marking that, you're going to go ahead to connect to that ½ inch and down to that your bust circumference at the chest line. So after you're done marking this now, you want to start inserting your measurement, because this dress does not have a dart, looking at what we have on the thumbnail. Now you're going to mark your bust circumference divided by 4 and add your sewing allowance. Bust is 33 divided by 4, I have 8.3, and I added my sewing allowance. Now I'll mark my under bust circumference, which is 28 divided by 4, I have 7, and add my sewing allowance. So my under bust and my waist is the same measurement, which I will still use. So I'll mark my hip circumference, which is 40 divided by 4, I have 10 inches, and I'll add my sewing allowance. So this ½ inch is not a standard. You can use whatever sewing allowance you want to use. So whatever you have on your hip, you're going to take out 1.5 inches from it to have a fitted effect at the lower part. So if you're using a stretchy fabric, you can go ahead to take out 2 inches. So let's say my hip is 40 divided by 4, I have 10, plus extra 1 inch, it will give me 11 inches. So what you do is to take out 1.5 inches from that 11 inches and mark at the lower part. After marking this, I'll go ahead and I will place my ruler, and I'll go ahead to connect, drawing out a straight line, connecting to the under bust, to the waist part of my pattern, to the hip, and down to the lower part. So this is what I have on this point right now, and the dress is actually above the knee. So for the neckline of this dress, you want to mark 3 inches for the width and 2.5 for the depth, and go ahead to connect, because this is an halter neck dress. Now after you're done marking, you're going to go ahead to start marking out the lower part of this dress. So for the lower part of this dress, at the under bust, that is where I'll start first. I'll come up by ½ inch or 0.5 inches. Now I'm going to connect this all the way to the under bust, and from there I'll go down by ½ inch and connect it back to the under bust, giving you that curve that you have at the under bust area of your dress. So after I'm done connecting this, we're going to mark the upper part of the pattern, and I'll go ahead to outline the lower part of this dress. From the neckline, I'll come in by 1 inch, and after that, I'm going to go ahead to connect this pattern to the under bust, creating like a little curve on that part. So this is the opening that we have at the center of the dress. Now I'll outline the neckline. Next, I'll mark 1.2 inches. So whatever you're taking here should be between 1 inch and 1.5, and from there I'll extend it to the back. Now on this pattern, if you look closely at the back, you notice that the front pattern extended to the back a bit. So I went out by 1 inch at the underbust, or 1.5. So you just extend it, that part will go towards the back. So you also want to outline this just to show that there's an halter neck there. But if you're really making the dress, you're going to cut out a fabric that you'll be adding to the neckline to create the turtle neckline at the halter neck of the dress. So because I'm not actually making this dress, I'm just cutting it, I'll just mark that out as the design, and whatever you have is going to be long enough to extend or tie at the back of the dress. So if you have any question regarding this tutorial, you can go ahead to ask. So after cutting this, you notice at the front part, at the underbust of this dress, there's a little folding there. It's not like the gathers there is much or the pleating is much, it's just little. So after that, you want to slash this open and spread it out so that you have extra to form the little pleating at the underbust of the dress. Then you go ahead and trace it out, and also remember to cut out the turtle neckline of the dress. So to cut out this back pattern, I'm going to use the front pattern, and what I will do is to add a zipper to the front. But looking at what we have, you notice that the back is not really that straight, so I'll just give it a little slant here. So from this underbust at the end, I'll slant it down to 1/2 inch all the way down. So after slanting this, I'll go ahead to cut this out, and after cutting it out, go ahead to add extra 1.5 or 2 inches for your zipper allowance at the front of this pattern. So with that, we have come to the end of this tutorial.